The whole beach wasn't enough. I recently traveled to a beach town to visit relatives. I'm there so often quite a few people think I'm a local. Both locals and tourists are pretty good at respecting personal space and won't sit right next to or in front behind you. In my 20+ years of making multiple visits per year, I have never had a problem with tourists. Until my most recent visit. I get to the beach early, like at 8:30 a.m. and I set up my chair and umbrella. There are maybe 5 other families already set up for the day. So there's no one within a 100-foot radius of me. For the next hour and a half I'm blissfully enjoying an audiobook. And a handful of other people show up. The entire beach is still empty. All of a sudden I feel a tap on my shoulder. Thinking it was my relatives deciding to join me. No. It was an incredibly obese, trashy looking woman. In her late 30s, early 40s, standing over me. Behind her was about 12 other people who appeared to have packed up their entire house and were lugging in through the sand. She's EP, excuse me, but you're in our spot. Me, what spot? EP, this is our spot. My family is staying at the hotel right over there and we've been sitting in this spot for the last 4 days. You need to move. Me, no I don't. I was here first. EP, I said this is our spot. This whole stretch of beach is reserved for hotel guests only. Me, knowing that not a single hotel reserves spots or parts of the beach for guests. Okay, well go get someone from the hotel to move me. If you can find someone I'll gladly move. EP, well there's no one working right now, you're just going to have to believe me. Me, there is literally miles of open beach. Pick a spot and enjoy your vacation. EP, both yelling at me and her family. This lady has just ruined our vacation. We need to find a different spot. So she and the rest of the family plop their stuff down literally 10 feet to the left of me, despite the entire beach still being open. For the next hour I pretend to be asleep listening to my audiobook, but instead I'm listening to EP. Every word out of her mouth is how much of a bitch I am. How it was so inconvenient that she had to carry her stuff an extra 10 feet, etc. I was overjoyed when the lifeguard kicked her and rest of the equally as trashy adults in her group off the beach for refusing to put out their cigarettes. Entitled parent tries to get me fired for being gay. A little background. I'm 19 and an openly bisexual dude. Everyone is normally pretty chill about it, but not this entitled parent. I'm a camp counselor at our local IMCA and I'm really good at it. The parent is not only the mom of a spoiled brat, but she is also my boss. Since day one this lady hasn't liked me. Her kid is a nightmare. He is rude and disrespectful to me and my coworkers. But by far the worst thing he's ever done is punch another kid in the face. I sent him to his mom's office and he had the audacity to tell him that this poor kid he punched him. I told her that he punched the other kid and called my coworkers to confirm. They all backed me up. She wouldn't believe that her kid was terrible. A little more background, this lady is a huge homophobe. The kids asked what I was doing later and I said I was going out with my boyfriend. Her son immediately decided that I must be joking because he said boys don't have boyfriends, they have girlfriends. I said no, I have a boyfriend. He's super cool and I love him. I pulled out my phone to show them pictures of us on a date to prove it to them. The next day the entitled parent pulls me into her office for an important meeting. I walk in and say, hey entitled parent. What's up? She says we need to talk about your employment. Now parents say you are a model counselor and the kids love you but you're gay. All gays are pedophiles. I can't have you working with children. I ask what? I do my job and I do it well. I've gone above and beyond what is needed from me and you're firing me because of my sexuality? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I can't have a gay working with my precious angel. I decide to take it up with her boss. She likes me. She's not a homophobic asshole. I tell her what happened and she fires the entitled parent and helped me sue. Apparently sexuality is part of the Civil Rights Act. I'll update if anything comes of it. Hooters aren't allowed at Hooter. Cast. Me. Ronron. EM. My mom. ED. My dad. W. Waitress. M. Manager. Sadly, I can't fix the title. So, let me just say that my mom and dad are pretty conservative. They think that women should marry young and stay home with kids while the husband works. They also believe women should never wear anything revealing. Anyway, we were shopping at Target fairly late in the evening, so we were very hungry. My mom told my dad to go to the first restaurant he saw. We went to Hooters. The second we walk in, my mom sees a waitress. She approached her with an angry expression. What are you doing dressed like that in public? Don't you work here? I have children, you slag. W. This is my uniform. If you don't like it, leave. My mom scoffs and walks to our table. My dad had us seated while she was being bitchy. When we sit down, my mom tells us about the trashy lower class women. My dad spots a waitress and loudly clears his throat, making eye contact with the waitress. She gets the message and walks over. To give context, she's very curvy and is dressed the usual attire for a waitress at Hooters. These are Hooter waitress. W. Yes. Are you ready to order? Ed. Young lady, you should cover up. What would your husband say? W. This is what I was given. Also, I'm unmarried. Looks at me. What would you like to drink? Little girl. Me. T. W. Lovely. And you? Don't talk to my daughter. I don't want your sluttiness wearing off on her. I demand a manager. The waitress gets her manager after a lot of hesitation, and out comes the most masculine, most terrifying man ever. Were you talking down to one of my employees? Ed. Yes. She shouldn't be dressed like that at work. And she's unmarried? What a horrible influence. Sir, please respect our staff. Either order and stay quiet, or leave. We left. I never got my tea.